more bad news. More layoffs are hitting Memphis. Yesterday, we told you Methodist Le Bonheur Healthcare was cutting jobs. Today, FedEx confirmed more cuts are coming to the Bluff City. And as ABC 24's Lauren Turman tells us, with federal cuts under the Trump administration still very fresh, Memphians think this is just the beginning.
Just one day after Methodist Le Bonheur Healthcare confirmed it's laying off more than 160 people, part of a consolidation plan tied to a steady drop in birth rates at its Methodist South facility, FedEx is now also cutting jobs in Memphis.
I worked for FedEx for 17 years, and that was one of their policies, to never lay off people, even during recessions or whatever. And so that's shocking to hear.
FedEx says fewer than 15 positions will be cut, all within the company's solutions team, a sales support unit. This comes just months after officials in Lebanon, Tennessee announced more than 200 layoffs between May 9th and May 30th. A spokesperson tells us in a statement, "We are working directly with affected individuals to ensure they have support during this transition." But some Memphians say, given the recent federal department job cuts, it's no real surprise.
That's laid off a bunch of people, and everybody's scared. No, these companies don't want to invest.
FedEx also announced today that its executive vice president is stepping down after the company says it hit its target of cutting $4 billion in structural cost, mainly through its Network 2.0 and Drive initiatives. And while these layoffs are hitting close to home,
well, most people I know is okay, but there's a lot of people that call say they're looking for jobs, so I think it's pretty bad, as I stated earlier.
So this is how it's gonna play out, and I'm gonna break it down for people because I predicted this. I said that it was gonna happen, and now it's taking place, and it's absolutely 100% affecting people on a regular basis. I'm gonna break it down by demographic. I'm gonna break it down by gender. I'm gonna break it down by education level, and I'm gonna also tell you. I'm gonna start off with this: that the federal layoffs have nothing to do with what is happening at FedEx. Now, I've been giving you guys updates and I've been breaking down exactly what's happening at UPS, right? And UPS, they are looking to cut positions. Contrary to popular belief, there are a lot of people that actually took the buyouts at UPS. If you go facility by facility, state by state, a lot of the old timers was looking to get out in the first place, but they didn't see any reason to let it go. But now that they're getting the incentive, if you got 30 plus years, so on and so forth, and you were looking to retire, well, you're going to accelerate that plan because UPS is now giving you a reason to do so. One of the reasons why UPS is laying off is because they want to save at least $1 billion a year, which they probably will hit that target. And then they want to invest a lot of that savings into smart hubs, right? And the smart distribution centers. They have to stay competitive with the Amazons, especially since they're a one-trick pony. And they also have to stay competitive with FedEx. FedEx, they have a lower cost structure than UPS because they don't pay as much. And while at the same time that they don't pay as much, they use a lot of contractors, which are people that are not on the books. When it comes to what is happening in Memphis right here, basically Memphis is a one-trick pony and they getting hit with the double whammy. How do I know how this plays out? Because I seen what happened to Detroit back in 2008 because I am a Detroit resident. And although I'm not in Detroit right at this very second because I am traveling and so you see me in the Airbnb with the background, I am familiar with what happened with Detroit because everybody was dependent on one industry and they were not diversified when it came to the different industries that were happening inside of the city. We've since made that adjustment. We're not just dependent on the auto industry. We have basically two of the biggest mortgage companies in the Metro Detroit area, and in Detroit in particular, that employs a lot of people. We have a huge financial distribution center. We still have the automakers. We have a lot of technology companies. We have a lot of things that is happening all at the same time. And that innovation has allowed for us to continue to grow, add people, add jobs versus what you see happening in Memphis. The worst thing about a lot of these cities is that it's hard to do business in these cities. So companies are not looking to come there. You have a education level that is lower. You have people that are not going into tech and the STEM fields, people that can't adjust over into AI machine learning, It's no reason for them to expand into these cities or to keep hubs in these cities because the workforce are just blue collar. So when the people are dependent on the government to continue to subsidize them, which this is the thing that should have been happening all along. You should have never even had any job growth during the Biden administration because you had record inflation and the majority of the jobs that were being added were in the government sector. The government sector is not supposed to be adding jobs. We are supposed to be shrinking the government sector and preventing them from continuing to build up on taxpayer dime. So basically, what you're going to see now is this, right? Because I did a report earlier on the Millionaire Morning Show, and I was breaking down how they are reporting that over 300,000 black women in particular are the ones that are affected. Now, they're not going to be the only ones that are affected, but over 300,000 black women have lost their jobs as a result of the culling, right? These administrative positions, when you see that AI and technology and call center, a lot of government jobs, women were dependent on that. That's why they didn't make as much money as men because they took the stability, and a lot of times they had real trash degrees, communication, African American studies, things that diversity, equity, and inclusion would allow for them to continue to keep their positions. And this is another reason why they tried to vote for Kamala Harris, because they would continue to be subsidized by the federal government. Here's the play, right? This is what you need to do. Doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, black, white, they don't discriminate. You need to go into fields that are ever evolving. AI with regard to cybersecurity, prompt engineering, machine learning, cloud, all of that type of stuff. Jobs that are just busy work. It is going to be a bigger gap between the haves and the have-nots. It is going to be a larger gap between socioeconomic statuses. If you are a person that basically can offer a product or a service at a better price, you are going to win. If you are going into skilled trades, you'll have a lot more stability. But everything is going to be innovated and disrupted. Even when it comes to these fast food jobs, I was telling y'all when California tried to pass this law so that Gavin Newsom can maintain some semblance of, loyalty within his base. And they were passing these fast food laws where people were making $20, $25 an hour over in California. And now I even see people saying, oh man, I can't get these jobs. The industry is even innovating with regard to that. I see Chinese food machines being able to make Chinese food more effectively, and people not having to worry about somebody calling off or dealing with the problems and the troubles that comes with human resources and everything that come along with humans. I already had documented different fry machines and stuff like that now is able to make fries, and they're not having to worry about the human factor that goes along with it. Everything is being innovated and everything is transitioning. It has been for a long time. Innovation has never stopped. When you went from horses to cars to more efficient cars, all of that stuff, innovation will always be here. So the types of jobs that we have to train for and the way that we make our income is always going to be different. Trump, to his credit, he is shrinking the federal government while at the same time incentivizing different companies to invest in the United States of America. So you see Apple bringing jobs here. You see the financial sector continuing to grow inside of the United States of America. So you're going to have to adjust, right? You're going to have to make adjustments to your skill set. You're going to have to train yourself to be different. Your children, they are going to have to be better educated in certain areas in order for them to be able to survive. So just think about it for a minute, and I'll cover it a little bit more on the Millionaire Morning Show. But make sure y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. If you are a grunt worker, if you are just a regular person that think you can come out of high school and just get a regular job, you're going to have a rude awakening.